Now we're going to be doing everyone's favorite, a beer can roasted chicken. What we're going to be adding to this chicken of ours is a nice potato and onion dish. The nice thing about a Weber is that you can do a whole meal, vegetables, starch, everything in one Weber, just on how you maximize it. So first I'm going to start by just doing a few onions, and I'm just going to cut everything in rough wedges. So I just want to get those skins off quickly. Then we're going to put these and we're going to mix with a little bit of oil, some salt, some pepper. You can add anything you want to this. If you want to add some barbecue spice, that's also fine. Some paprika, anything that helps your cause to have some nice potatoes and onions. It is possible to cook things in little foil bags as well. I'll show you now how to make a bag like that. But for our purpose, we want to do a nice roast. So we're going to place this just underneath the grid, in between the coals. Because funny enough, that is actually one of the colder parts of the Weber. We've got our washed potatoes. We cut them in wedges. We're just going to quickly cut our onions as well. We're going to place all of this in our little dish. And onions also just into nice wedges. Okay, now we need to just season this with some oil and salt and pepper and just get it nicely coated. Then it goes in just before our chicken. So there we go. We're gonna add some oil to that. We're gonna add some pepper. And some salt. And we just give that a good mix through, just to make sure everything's coated. One little one running away. There we go. Now this one we're going to put in between the coals, underneath the grid. As I've mentioned, that is actually the coldest part of the Weber, is just underneath the grid. Then what we do, we can put the grid on for our chicken. And then normally you can just take any beer, open the can, drink half if you want to, and then place this chicken on top. I've just used a different can for today. We've got our beer in there, and all we need to do is just quickly spice this chicken. I cut off the tail due to the little gland that makes the meat slightly bitter, and cut off the excess on the neck. Now what we need to do with this one is we just give it a quick spice. You can use anything, chicken spice, herbs. I'm gonna do some oil, black pepper, salt, and then I'm gonna do some barbecue spice. We just quickly rub it with a little bit of oil, some barbecue or chicken spice, just rub it in there. It gets a nice color to it. And then we're gonna just season it with some salt and pepper. Now what works quite nicely is if you do something like maybe a rub or a pesto, and you actually put some underneath, you just loosen the skin, and you just in there, you can see, you open it up, and you can actually put some stuffing in there, just as it, just gives that extra flavor into the chicken. Some black pepper, and then salt I'm going to put some salt inside the chicken as well as just a little bit outside, because that outside salt also helps to just crisp up the skin a little bit. Then what we do is you take your can. Now if you do a beer can, you don't have to cut the whole thing open. You can just open the normal latch. Then you just place the chicken on top of the can and just make it sit pretty. Then we place this chicken in the middle, right above our potato and onion mix that's going. We put our lid on and we leave that one until the chicken is nice golden brown, and the potatoes are going to catch some of the fat and the juices from the chicken and really sort of start seasoning a bit more, and they will accompany the chicken very well. Let's have a look at our beer can chicken and our potatoes with onions. This should pretty much be there by now. As you can see, our chicken's nice and golden brown. Our potatoes have got some color there with our onions. So we can now just give this another 5 minutes, take it off, and it's ready to serve. And there we have it, our delicious beer can chicken with our potatoes and onions. Certainly a dish that can keep the whole family happy.